All right, what's good, y'all? Now, after Chris Middleton's bizarre 40-point game, well, I won't say bizarre, but it was pretty great, actually. His 40-point game and beating the Suns in game four. It's causing many people to ask the question, who's the Batman of the team? Who's the leader of the Milwaukee Bucks? Is it Middleton or is it Giannis? Now, me personally, I think it's Middleton simply because at the end of games, you're not going to give the ball to Giannis if you're the Bucks. Going to give the ball to either Middleton or Drew Holiday, or possibly even Brook Lopez before Giannis, unless it's like a lob or something. I'm not going to do that. And the thing is, the only person I can see that's being the leader of a team but not taking the end of game shots is LeBron. And even so, LeBron still has taken taken a good amount of clutch shots too. He still has. So I got to give him credit for that. But with Giannis, I don't think he won the game in Giannis's hands during the fourth quarter, or at least during like 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, rather. Anyways, let's get into this.
Well, Molly, I've been waiting on this moment all series long, right? For game 4, like last night, when it comes down to a possession
Hey, yo, they got the Batman theme. They got the Batman theme for Kendrick Perkins, bro.
by possession game, when it matters the most, who you put your money on? Money making Middleton, the Batman, the closer, the guy that's going to get you those buckets, the guy that embraces that moment, and the world knows it.
At least at home, he embraces that moment. Let's see what he does game five against the Suns while they're away.
Giannis knows it, Stephen A knows it, and Max knows it, right? And here it is. This is when you know you're a Batman. The movie Batman, right? You look at them, they try to capture the villain, they try to catch the villain. The police department do everything that they possibly can, but who they call on to come save the day? They call on money-making Militant, the Batman of this team. But I will show.
Well, I gotta give some pushback with this perk, although I do believe he is a Batman. When it comes down to LeBron and Kyrie and who's taking the last shot, everyone's giving the ball to Kyrie. And even LeBron is. LeBron's gonna defer to Kyrie. It doesn't mean Kyrie was the Batman of LeBron's team though, when they both were on the Cavs.
Giannis some respect. I'm not going to call him a Robin. I'm going to call him a Superman. I'm going to call Chris Middleton and Giannis Antetokounmpo. I'm going to call them Justice League, okay? But
No, that's actually a pretty good comparison. I'll give him credit for that. So I'm not gonna call him a Rob. I'm gonna call him Justice League. I mean, if they're a whole Justice League, everyone's a superstar at that point. Or everyone's at least an all-star. I get his point. That's a really good comparison by Perk right here. I like it.
because Giannis got a historical block last night. So I'm not going to disrespect him, but when it matters the most, put your money on money-making Middleton. Carry the hell on.
Well, I'm not sold. I'm not sold in that regard. And let me say this.
Hey yo, y'all see Kendrick Perkins' face switch, bro? Dude went from a smile, he went what?
One of the things that I will refrain from is calling anybody Robin, and I know you didn't do that because I remember how I think that still haunts Pippen to this very day. I think that's why we see some of the stuff we see from Pippen.
Nah, Pippen's a Robin. No disrespect, he's a Robin to MJ's Jordan, bro. Sorry. No one's having him in the top 10 of greatest players during his era. At least I don't think.
Because Pippen is an all-time great, and he doesn't feel he's nearly as appreciated as he should be. And I think that when you look at The Last Dance, which Pippen himself told me he called the Jordan documentary, I think he was taken aback and felt a bit offended by that and what have you. Look at the things, the days of McHale with.
I mean, who this like when it comes to Pippen, he had his own chance to lead his team, and he lost against the Knicks. So, like, he didn't even make the finals. That was his chance to prove why he wasn't a Robin. He could have had his own Justice League, like Kendrick Perkins said, but no.
Bird and do Mars with Isaiah and stuff like that. We never started using Robin and stuff like that until Pippen came along with MJ. So I refrain from saying that about them, and I think we all.
Hey man, how about this? Scottie Pippen's Nightwing. How about that? Cooler name. It's an older, more mature Robin. So he's still kind of Batman's lackey, but not as much. There you go. Scottie Pippen's Nightwing. There you go.
Should, but I will tell you, getting back to Middleton, KP, where I disagree with you. Not his skill set. I totally agree with Kendrick Perkins about Khris Middleton's skill set. I just don't think you can trust him. I don't think he's consistent enough. I'll give you a perfect example. I just called up his game log. Let me explain, KP. I just called up his game log. So he'll drop 38 points against Brooklyn, a 25-point game, a 38-point game, and then a couple of games later, he drops 15 and 15 against Atlanta. 15 points one game, 15 points another.
Let me guess, were they both at Atlanta too?
He'll drop 38 against Atlanta, all right, and then turn around and drop 16 the next game. This series, he dropped 29 at Phoenix. The very next game, he had 11. What I've called Middleton is a roller coaster. Like, I'm not questioning his skill set at all. He's got an NBA body, NBA size. His mid-range game is superb. We know that when it's time to close, he's capable of doing so. He's somebody, I want the ball in his hands. I know he can hit free throws. He's got all the skills. My only issue with Middleton is consistency, nothing else.
And this is why I said earlier at the beginning of the video, it's Khris Middleton at home. When he's away, he's 50-50. You don't know what you're going to get from him. But home, typically, he plays consistent.
The fact that one game, he'll play lights out. Like KP, we're sitting here today right now, Kendrick, right? And we're talking about Middleton because of that performance he dropped last night. I'm willing to bet you he'll turn around and score like 16 or 17 the next game.
Know why?
And then he'll come back to Milwaukee and drop 35 or 36. This is what he does. It's up and down, up and down.
Yeah, but that's what he does when it comes to away games and home games. I got no clue why that is. Maybe the sun's getting in his head. Maybe it's those free throws and how teams used to taunt Giannis start speeding up the count on him. I don't know.
That's my only issue with Middleton, nothing else. The skill is superb. Everything you said about his game is right. But I want a level of consistency before I'm going to sit up there and give that man that kind of props.
That's exactly right. That man can't see the bat signal up in the sky and then say, we're on the road today. I'm not going to answer that call. That man got to answer that call every time.
The bat signal.
Khris Middleton is Batman.
Man, Batman got a whole mansion. He can let the police do it. He can let the police solve the problem for once. Batman got too much work. Not good what Max is saying.
He's in the Batcave, but take him to the Joker's lair or wherever Catwoman or the Riddler are hanging out. All of a sudden, he's back to Bruce Wayne. He's got to stay Batman to call him Batman, Perk. The dude goes away too often. And if he didn't, if he put up numbers and did things like he did last night more consistently, he'd be an all-star every year. He'd be a genuine star or a superstar, not a dude who sometimes
I must interject
shows
for 1 second, Max, to give you your props. I mean, I didn't know you knew Batman like that. The Joker, and I'm surprised you didn't bring up the Penguin. But, I mean, it was all good, Max. I mean.
Hey, yo, Stephen ain't built like a penguin. Loki Kendrick Perkins is, too.
I got to give you credit where credit is due.
like the old Adam West Batman.
That's right.
Egghead.
No, Kendrick Perkins wouldn't know anything about that. We too old for you, Kendrick Perkins, with that whole ad.
Yeah, too old for me, too.
West Batman, when he did the bat dance, the Batman did the bat dance.
The bat
That was hilarious. But go ahead.
That's right. Finally, you gave at least Giannis some respect calling him Superman, because that's right, too. You want to call Khris Middleton Batman, you better call Giannis Superman.
I mean, they even matches Giannis, because Shaq gave him the title of Superman. So it fits. Now, who's Drew Holiday? That's what I want to know. Because he's been horrible this finals, at least for his standards. He has not been playing good.
Well, look, let me tell y'all why I disagree at this moment, okay? And playoffs is about what? Mismatches, and adjustments, okay? And you make adjustments throughout the course of a series. Take you back to game 3. Giannis had it going. If you go back and watch the tape, Khris Middleton kept feeding Giannis. They couldn't stop him in the paint. Why would you go away from that? The
That's a fair assertion. That's fair.
Bucks dominated in great fashion. You move on to game 4. What did the Phoenix Suns do? They adjusted. They walled off Giannis. They doubled him on the low block. So now what? He needs his Batman to step up to the plate, Khris Middleton. And not only did he step up to the plate when it mattered the most, he dropped a 40 piece. He outscored the Phoenix Suns under the last 2:30 of the game by himself, 10-4. And you want me to throw you out a crazy number out there right now? Look, in the last 25 years, in the fourth quarter, with go-ahead baskets and game-time baskets, it's only 2 people that's up there with 15 of those. It's LeBron James and Khris Middleton. So what I'm saying is, when it matters the most, like game 6 and game 7 against the Nets, game 5 and game 6 against the Hawks, last night in a must-win situation, because you got to get it done in Milwaukee. Otherwise, you lose this game. You lose in Phoenix in game 5. Khris Middleton
But that's not
delivers in
fair.
great fashion. And Giannis knew that.
But anyways, you got Batman as Khris Middleton, and you got Superman as Giannis, according to Kendrick Perkins. So someone give Drew Holiday a name. But anyways, peace.